Hello and welcome back. In this video, we will learn more about making the drawer internals. Now, to make the drawer internals, there are two ways of doing it. One, we do it from scratch, just like we made our cabinet. And second, I will use some library elements which will have predefined drawer box and drawer runners to it. So, what is like library element? It's just like any other Python file with some special attributes and some predefined set of function into it. So I'll create a new video after this series which will show you how to make the library. So let us start by making this drawer fronts invisible so that we can work internally. Now to hide the drawer fronts, I have to right click on my viewport and I can say make invisible, and now I select my drawer fronts and I just confirm it with my middle mouse button. And now I can see the internal of my cabinet. So let us start with making our drawer box. Now for that, we'll model the right hand side first and we'll press Q on the keyboard to start the block function. Now this input bar is asking the major point. I'll say this is my major point. Now for the lengths in X, Y and Z, I have to make my drawer side and back and bottom in 16 mm. So in the X, I'll put -16, and in Y it will be 400. This is the size of the runner I'll be using as well, and in Z I'll make it 130. So this is our right hand side of our drawer box. Now the placement has to be corrected because we have to leave some clearance in Z and some clearance for the channels. So I will have to right click on this and I click on move. Now while moving, I will not use gizmo because it has to be moved in X and Z as well. So I can put both the values in my input bar. Now in the X it should come -12.5. This value I got it from the manual of Blum. And in Y it will be 0, in Z it will be 6 mm. Okay, now once we have our right hand side in proper place, I will just go in my front view and I right click on this. I go to my mirror function. Now while I make my mirror, I get a small dialog box where I can select if I want to make a copy and how will be the placement of my mirrored object. So I'll say yes, I will make a copy and I'll use a ruler to define the placement. Now I'll select any of the center points of this horizontal lines. So I'll click the center of my top and I'll adjust my ruler. Now to adjust this ruler, if you see there are two different markers. One is in green and one is in blue. So if my mouse cursor is beyond this green marker, then I can move in like 5 degrees. Okay, and if it is above the green marker, then I can move in 10 degrees. So it's just about rotating your ruler. And let's say if you are beyond the blue marker, then you will move interactively. Okay, so this is not advisable. I would rather go above the green and I'll adjust it exactly at 90 degrees. So I have my mirror part here, which is the left hand side of my drawer box. Now let us quickly make our bottom and back. So to do that, I will use my block function again. So I'll press Q and this is my start point and this is my end point. I'll just select diagonal points. So I'll get my X and Y. And for my Z value, I say this is 16 and I click on OK. The block function is still active. So I'll make my back as well. For that, I click this point and this is my endpoint. So now for the value in Y, it will be -16. Okay, perfect. Now to make it more better with a proper joinery, I will just extend my bottom so that I can rebate it in my size for a better strength. So I go in my front view and you just have to double click on this, and where you see the value as 307, this is the width of my bottom, you can just add 16 mm to it. So you see 8 mm is adjusted on both the side. So I confirm this with OK, and I press X on my keyboard to reset my view. Now let us make our grooves in 3D on the sides. So I'll go in my Boolean function and I say reference copy. Now you have to look at your input bar. It's asking pick part to remain. So this shall remain and this will be subtracted. And again this will remain and this will be subtracted. So our drawer box is done. Now for the second drawer, you can just copy this below, but I would like to bring in a library element so that I have my set of channels as well. Now when I bring my library element, I get a lot of advantage from it because the machinings are done automatically and they are as per the catalog of Blum. And also the naming and attributes of my parts are all done. So to bring a library element, first I will make a block and then I'll replace that block with the library element. So I have to define the area where my drawer box will be sitting. For that you have to just make a block and I'll press Q on my keyboard. This will be my start point and I'll make my block until here. So we'll just give any depth here. It doesn't matter if you give even 1 mm here, but I'll make it 50 mm. And now we can replace this box. But before we replace, we have to give some references on our replaceable box. Now the reference points are important because in the library element, it has to match the same reference point. For that, you just have to go to attributes on the top ribbon and you can go to reference points and you can say automatic reference points. Now the input bar is asking which part should have automatic reference point. Of course, this is our part where I want my reference points. Now the moment I click, you will see there is a red color, a green colored and a yellow colored point. So this is my first, second and my third reference point which are automatically defined. Now the next step is you have to go to Part Tools 1 and you will see a replace button below. So we'll click on replace. Now in the input bar you see it's asking which part should be replaced. So this is our part which we are going to replace. I confirm with my middle mouse and I have a small dialog box with the parameters to be defined for replace. So as of now you'll keep one part each and make sure this is at fit to reference point because our drawer will be fitting only in the width. So the only adjustable thing I have in my drawer is the width part. Okay. So I'll keep fit to and I go to browse because here I have to select which part will be coming in instead of this dummy. So I go to my browse button and I have a folder downloaded on my desktop from Blum and it is a single extension drawer 230M. So I'll just turn on my thumbnails to extra large and here you will see all the drawer libraries. So I'll be also attaching this in the description below. So this is our drawer runner which will be coming here and you will see this is properly placed inside with the reference points matching from our dummy. So this was our first reference, this is our second reference and there is no third reference needed to replace this box because the library was made in that way. So I confirm it with my OK button. Now this is not the drawer box construction we were looking for, so we can choose to just extend it and make it like the top drawer box what we made, or I would rather prefer a simpler way and copy this below. So I'll right click and I turn on my copy command and I select the parts which I want to copy. I say you guys can come below and now I confirm it with only Z. I will now right click and turn off my copy command. Now what we can do is delete the drawer box which came in from the library element. So to do that you have to be careful because I don't want to delete the library element itself. Now the thing is in the library element there are a lot of small data like the machining data. There are drawer runners. So what we have to delete is the drawer box only which is in yellow color. So you can right click on your viewport and you can say delete And whilst you make delete, make sure the group for selection is on. This means instead of selecting parts, now I'm able to select the whole group. So to be careful, you can also turn on your project tree. Now in the project tree, you see all the items which you have in your scene. And if you select even the slightest object with the groups on here, you will see the whole group is selected. So the library element has a good hierarchy of the main group, then there is a subgroup for drawer box, and there is drawer hardware, and there is a text in the front. So I won't be deleting everything. I just want to delete the drawer box which has a separate group. So for that, my group is on and I just select any part from that box. So I'll go a little bit closer and I make sure I select one of the part from my drawer box, which makes it get selected as a whole group. And now I confirm with my middle mouse button. So the box is deleted and my channels are placed correctly with my drawer. So the next step is to copy this channels for my top drawer as well. And for that, I'll copy. Again, you have to make sure that the group function is on and you can just select the channels. But this makes the selection only for the subgroup. So I'll make the text as well to be included with my selection. And now I can copy from this point to this point, only in Z. So this makes our drawer box constructions complete, and I can also choose to make one more extra front here to have a better connection with my drawer front. I press Q on my keyboard to make a new block and I give this as my major point, and this is where until I want to make my block in X. In Y I'll say 16. And in Z, I want my block to go all the way up until here. So I forgot the value of the height. So I just click on this point. Okay. So if you make sure that your cursor is here and you select the point, then you can jump to the distance wherever you want up. Okay. So I just make sure I'm up until here for this block. So it's 114. And now you click on OK. I will now right click on copy from this point up until this point. So that's it for today. In the next video, we will learn more about organizing our drawing and giving proper names, generating a BOQ and a cutting list. So thank you guys. See you again. Bye.